Hi, my name is Valerie, and this is my first updated video since my month-long journey with no-poo hair care. So my first no shampoo shower was June 1st, where I used baking soda and apple cider vinegar. My last recorded video was June 28th, where I failed at using a gluten-free flour with the rye flour method. And that is because it was starch-based, and when you put wet starch on your hair, it coats everything, and I was brushing it out for a couple of days. It is July 6th now, and I really thought it was going to take a little bit longer before I was able to make an updated video, but I found some vegetable glycerin. Well, my husband ordered it online and brought it to me. He's so great. But this I am going to put into a tea, and I'm going to use chamomile tea. So I'm excited to try using tea again with this. The recipe that I am using is actually a lemongrass tea recipe, but it tells me to use a teaspoon of this in my tea. So I am excited to try doing that and see how it works on my hair. So let's get started. So I already brewed the chamomile tea, so you don't have to watch that. But I am going to use a teaspoon of this vegetable glycerin. I already dealt with the foil cap, so you don't have to watch me struggle. And we will just put it in and see how it goes. The tea is warm, it's not super hot or anything, but it's really runny, and the whole point of this is that this is supposed to be your soap, because the tea doesn't really take the oil out of your hair, and there weren't really any important directions or like informative directions about how to use this. It just said brew your tea and use it in your hair cold. Oh, and you can use vegetable glycerin if you want to as a soap. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But I'm not going to use apple cider vinegar as a conditioner this time, because the vegetable glycerin should be, I guess, moisturizing enough that your hair won't be super dried out. So we'll see how that goes. So the last shower that I took was on July 2nd, and I used an egg mask. And as you can see, my hair is okay. It's definitely oily, and you know, it's sticking together, kind of clumpy, stringy, but it's soft, and it's pretty shiny. And you know, if you just kind of comb it and keep it in like a ponytail or a braid or something, it looks like it's clean because it's not super dark. And I am excited to see the possible change in color that my highlights might have. I might get a little bit lighter highlights from this chamomile tea. And also, I had a campfire last night since I am camping, and it still smells like smoke, so I'm kind of excited to wash the smoke smell out of my hair as well. And we'll see how it looks after the shower is over. I realized that I didn't list out the measurements for the recipe that I used today. So what I did was, it was 1 bag of chamomile tea with about a cup of hot water, and then once that cooled down, that's when I added the teaspoon of the vegetable glycerin into it. And the vegetable glycerin, it seemed to mix into the tea pretty well. When I went to go put it in my hair, it didn't really feel sticky or like there was any sort of substance in it. And when I, swiped my fingers around the bottom of the mug just to see if it had settled out, there was no residue left in the mug. but rubbing it into my hair, it just felt that I was putting cold tea in my hair. And I did put it in my hair dry to make sure that it all soaked in there. And then I let it sit in my hair for about 3 or 4 minutes just to let it, do its thing, lighten up my hair, clean my hair, whatever it hopefully did sitting in there. And then I just rinsed it out and took the rest of my shower, and it was pretty uneventful. So I hope that it turned out pretty well, and I'm kind of excited to see how it's going. So we'll see it when it's dry. Well, it didn't get all of the smoke smell out of my hair, and I guess it didn't really matter anyway because my husband and I went out tonight and we made another fire, so we still smell like smoke. And I would not recommend using that recipe if you want to get smells out of your hair. I think that it didn't get all of the oil out. It got a lot of it out. It is much lighter, but you can kind of tell it is still kind of clumpy when I go to move it around. There's a possibility that starch that was in my brush from brushing my hair out has redeposited back into my hair as well. I think that as for the lightening of the hair, it might have made my highlights just a little bit brighter, which is what the website says. It says that it's supposed to subtly make your highlights more visible, but it's not a dramatic change. And I think that in general, the recipe worked. I might, next time that I decide to do an egg wash, I might decide to just use egg whites instead of a whole scrambled egg. That might help with the amount of oil or moisture that's in my hair. My hair is soft all the way down to the ends. I'm pleasantly surprised that it didn't dry my hair out worse. And I think it's very shiny. So I do think that this is a good recipe. I just think that using a whole egg the shower before, that this recipe doesn't take as much oil out as we expect it to. So I hope that you enjoyed this update, and that the next time I make an update, I'll see you then. I hope that this has helped you with your hair, and have a great day.